It's rivalry week here at Oceanside Ice Arena. I got Coach Tait Green with me with Arizona State ACHA D1. Coach, you got a feel for the real deal last weekend when you got a couple of games in, splitting with UNLV. So first of all, let's recap last weekend. What was it like for you?
We came out flying Friday night. It was a great game Friday night. I think we got to see a little bit of the potential that this group can bring. We played with them pretty even or controlled most of the game, and obviously we were excited about the outcome. Then Saturday night, I think our guys kind of found out that you have to bring it every night,
right?
And it wasn't as easy the second night. Obviously they're a good team, defending nationals. They've been a top 15 team for a while. They know what it takes to do night in and night out, and Saturday was our first lesson. We got all excited and put all that energy into Friday. You're going to have to bring the same thing Saturday or you lose every day.
I guess that's a good thing, learning on night 2 of the season, right? Instead of night 15 or 20?
Yeah, no doubt. I would rather lose that game this time of year than 3-4 months from now.
What was your thoughts, not only on your team, but what you saw from UNLV and about the overall generality? I guess you had a chance to see Grand Canyon too when they played UNLV the night before, but it's pretty evenly matched the way it looks to me.
Yeah, it is. It's and I think that rivalry with us and UNLV is going to ramp up a little bit.
Right.
There's been hits and misses. I know when they were D2, they beat up on our D2 a little bit, and now that they've gone D1, we've been able to beat them twice in 2 years, and I think they're starting to see that we want what they have. Let's put it that way.
I hear you. Well, right now we're in the middle of rivalry week with U of A coming in. They haven't been in the game action yet. They've barely been on the ice, I guess, but they're looking to bring it in. They came in as number 10, the highest ranked team preseason anyway in the ACHA D1 Desert Southwest. That's a mouthful. But I know you guys are ready, but tell me a little bit about the rivalry again. We've talked years in the past. I think it's worth bringing up again just how big of a rivalry this is between ASU and U of A.
Yeah, it goes way back into the 80s and 90s. And Coach Powers came in the other day and talked to our guys on Tuesday and showed us a lot of the history there. And for a long time, U of A beat up on Arizona State, and then the tables were turned in the mid 90s where ASU ran the tables on them. And it's so that obviously the two schools have a rivalry that goes back to the 1880s, 1890s. But the hockey rivalry is a good 30 years strong now plus, and it's the same thing. We don't like them, they don't like us, and it's just it's college sports. It's what this is all about, and it's so much fun. It's been so exciting all week. All the guys are amped for it. This group, I think, really understands how big that rivalry is. What it meant to us last year, getting swept. We can't let that happen again. We certainly don't want that to happen again, and we're going to do everything in our power to bring that trophy back.
I talk about the rankings, and I hate the rankings, to be honest with you, because I don't know that they're accurate, fair, whatever, when you go down the line. But nonetheless, that's how you get into the national tournament. So the rankings have to matter, and wins and losses have to matter, and more importantly, conference wins have to matter, don't they?
Yep, no doubt. There's games you have to win some nights. There's some teams that you're going to be expected to win, or you're going to hurt yourself in the standings. When we were playing, like UNLV, we split with them. That second game was still a close game. That helps us in our not only our confidence, but it also helps with the whole mathematical equation of figuring out these rankings. And so it's important that every night you bring it, whether even if you're matched up against somebody that's a lot better than you've got to play them close if you want to maintain rankings.
All right, tell me a little bit about your team after 1 week. What did you learn from this team after 1 weekend?
I think the biggest thing was they play with great energy. They play with a lot of heart, a lot of passion. And I like that. There's guys in that room that are really competitive. They just want to compete. They want to. It doesn't matter what they're doing in practice. They're out there beating the crap out of each other because they just want to win. And so I think we see that we have that in our room now. And then the biggest thing, like we already talked about, was just learning how to do it over a weekend. Yeah. Bring 2 games. Next week we go on the road. We got to do it 3 times in 3 days. So this is another big learning step for us this weekend. Hopefully we compete for 2 nights, and then next week we take it into 3.
I couldn't talk about the rivalry if I didn't talk about a couple of guys that I know of that have played over 100 games for ASU, and Austin Palumbo and Zach Kowalchuk. And tell me what they mean. I know what you told me in the offseason, how much they mean to your program, but how much have they meant right now when you had to sort through 120 plus players and get things going? How much do those two mean in your locker room?
Those two are great. They've done so much behind the scenes, whether it's getting stuff done for the university, all the requirements we have to do with the Sun Devil Fitness Center, and they're on top of all that. And at the same time, like this week especially, every day they're reminding our guys of what this rivalry means. They've been through it for but if they've been 100 games, I bet there's close to 20 of them have been against U of A.
Right.
So it means a lot to them, and they're kind of passing that knowledge on to our guys right now. So both Austin and Zach have been, everything and plus more that we would need out of leaders in that group right now.
Who else stood out last weekend that you maybe thought, well, I thought he might do it, but he really stepped up? Because I can tell you a couple of guys that I thought stepped out to me, but tell me who you thought.
Yeah, I was really happy with defenseman Jack Hosworth. I feel like he's a sneaky one that's just really smart, makes really good decisions. I didn't know if the speed of the play would affect him at all or not, and it doesn't bother him at all. He's just not phased. Offensively, CLAYTON LACKEY, you start to see how fast that kid is. He can get up and down the ice, man. Damon Porter with a heavy shot. He's just tough and he competes. Andrew Husted, another one. He works so hard. If there's a battle for that puck, I'm pretty confident that he's going to come out with the puck.
All right. So anybody injured this week, or you come through pretty healthy?
No, we are banged up a little bit. We've had Kyle Browder has been out all season so far with a knee injury.
Yeah.
He wasn't able to get it back going this week as we were hoping. And then we've got Alex Demon is out sick right now. And then we've got defenseman TD is out right now with it's just a sore groin, so we're going to go easy with him.
All right, goaltending wise, who you got in net starting up Friday night?
Our man Bronson Moore will start us off Friday night, and he's another one. I know what the rivalry means to him.
Yeah.
You know how competitive he is. I think if I was walking that room and telling him he wasn't starting, we'd probably have to throw fists. So.
All right, Coach Tait Green, it's all set now, but just to get it done on the ice. So good luck this weekend, and we'll talk to you before and after every game.
I like it, Scott. Thank you very much. Appreciate you coming out. Welcome.
Welcome back in, hockey fans in the Desert Southwest. It's rivalry week here at Oceanside Ice Arena. ASU, U of A. I got CLAYTON LACKEY with me, the Scottsdale kid. CLAYTON, I had a chance to see you play for the first time last weekend, and the first thing that stood out to me was, oh my God, where did you get that speed? So first of all, welcome in, and tell me a little bit about that speed you have.
Thank you for having me. My whole life I've been playing hockey. Ever since I was 2, I was always on the ice skating. I've always been a littler guy on the ice, so I worked with my dad my entire life, and his whole emphasis was that I'm not going to be the biggest guy, so I got to be the fastest. So a lot of off-ice training, getting the legs strong, and then off-ice agility as well helps out. And then on-ice stuff, we're always working on making my stride quick and explosive and as efficient as possible.
The Maroon and Gold game, I wasn't able to make it down here, but my photographer is here, and he sent me texts about 3 or 4 times. He goes, "Got to check out 19. Got to check out 19." And so I was looking forward to seeing you, but I was pleasantly surprised at just how fast you really were. Were you surprised that you would be that quick with this competition?
I knew the competition was going to be tough. Kind of coming into it, I talked to Tait, and coming from North American League, where it's a lot of speed and a lot of physicality.
Right.
He talked to me about how it's kind of going to be a different style. It's going to be more systems and a lot of speed. But he said that I can't come in with the attitude that it's going to be easy. He knows that I have the speed, but there's still going to be players that can match my speed. But I kind of felt coming in I was going to be pretty confident with where I was at skill-wise and speed-wise. So I felt like if I play my game, I'll be pretty dominant.
A lot of kids I talked to at the ACHA level, when I started Ice Time Hockey Southwest 4 years ago, starting our 5th year now, I looked around and I thought, boy, they were down, right? ASU had won a national championship, but they moved up to NCAA. Coach Power admits he kind of raided the ACHA club in order to build his NCAA team. U of A was down. Grand Canyon was playing in a beer league at that point. Not a beer league, but You know what I'm talking about, the Lake. And UNLV was just trying to get rolling again with D2. Now all of a sudden we got 4 legitimate ACHA D1 teams. So as a kid growing up, I'm sure your aspirations were NHL and were forever. And ACHA probably didn't enter your mind. What was the point that you finally said, hey, ACHA hockey is pretty good?
Yeah, for sure. Growing up, I grew up in Chicago. That's where I was born. So
Right.
I was always looking at the Chicago Blackhawks. That's kind of my aspiration.
Not a bad group.
No, not at all. Growing up, they won 3 cups in 6 years. It was pretty exciting. I got to go to parades and go to the playoff games. So it was pretty awesome. So kind of growing up, that was my aspirations. And then as I got older, we moved to Arizona. I played youth here, and then once my junior career kind of came to be, I was up in Wisconsin playing for the Lacrosse Freeze, and then the year after that, I was in Lone Star, and that's kind of where I felt that the road was kind of coming to an end for
Right.
the NCAA/professional dream. So I kind of wanted to focus on getting a really good education for a good price, and I've been talking to Tait for 2 or 3 years, ever since I was playing youth here, and then once I went to play junior, we were always in contact with that, so he kind of was in the back of my mind for a good little fallback idea, and he knew that Arizona State had great education for me, so I thought that would be a great opportunity. And then once our season ended last year, I didn't really get any offers from any Division I teams, and I talked to a bunch of Division III teams, but I felt that it wasn't going to be worth my money to go play Division III hockey and not get as high of a education and better education from there. So I reached out to Tait, and he said he'd love to have me, so that's kind of how I ended up here.
Okay, so you're wearing the maroon and gold right now. You're going against the red and blue are coming to town.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about what you know of that rivalry, and how long have you known about the rivalry between these two schools?
I mean, ever since I was younger, when I first moved here, my brother, he went to the University of Arizona to study business, so we kind of have a little family rivalry there. My mom struggles on deciding who to cheer for, but right now I got her heart because I'm currently there. But I mean, even football games, there's always that rivalry and bitterness towards each other's schools, and I feel like that's kind of where everything stems from. It's just really competitive. It's either, for the most part, like 90%, it's either U of A or Arizona State for going to college in Arizona. So I feel like that's kind of where it comes from, and I think we talked to Coach Powers this week. He kind of gives a background about the rivalry, especially in the ACHA level, and how much it means to him, and he kind of relayed it to us, and he wants us to play with the same fire that he does. And I think we hiked A Mountain on Monday, and our leadership kind of gave us a background about the facts of the rivalry and how that has all come to be. So I think we have a really good feel, especially the freshmen currently know what to look for this weekend.
Speaking of your leadership, you got a couple of guys, Zach Kowalczyk, Austin Blumel, that have been here, played 100+ games for ACHA D1. How much and how important have they been all the way along from the day one of training camp to where you are right now?
Yeah, 100%. Zach and I played first year 18s at the Bobcats together, so I kind of had a relationship with him from the start. So I mean, when I was kind of picking classes and trying to build my schedule, he was the one I was talking to throughout, just to make sure that I have everything I need and it's a good schedule for me, and he thinks that the workload would be fine. So he was kind of the person I turned towards for mentorship, as I would describe it as. And Palumbo also, he kind of gave everyone the idea of what you had to do to be qualified for an ACHA player through the school and through the league. So he kind of was in charge of making sure everyone was qualified when we came to play against UNLV this past Friday, so no one was missing out on getting scratched or anything. So he was kind of the leadership as to getting everyone certified to play.
Okay, let's wrap it up with a couple of things for you. The season starts for you guys with 2 home weekends in a row, but then you go on the road and you get to see what ACHA road hockey is like with 3 games and 3 nights. You ready for that?
Oh yeah, I mean, playing junior hockey, it's kind of
Right.
the road life is kind of what you've learned. And I was in the South Division last year, and we were taking bus rides 8, 9 hours to play 2 or 3 games in a weekend. So I feel like I'm going to be pretty prepared for that. But I think a lot of the freshmen that maybe have not played junior hockey really won't be experienced with coming off a plane, maybe getting one skate in, then you're jumping right into a game. I mean, there's a lot of a lot of things you have to deal with that. So I think that it'll be a good test for us once we're on the road.
You've seen junior hockey, now you've seen your first weekend of ACHA D1. How's the comparison? How good is this level of hockey?
I think it kind of gets a bad reputation. I mean, my first weekend, I came out here and it was a lot more skilled and a lot more tough than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
A lot of the players, they're actually really skilled, and there's a lot of bitterness between just different teams, even if you're not rivalries.
Right.
You still kind of hate the person on the other side of the ice because you're trying to fight for every inch and get every advantage you can. So I think that's kind of the biggest thing. That there's a lot of hatred between teams, but I think that really makes it really competitive.
All right, from the ASU side of things, we'll wrap it up on this. What do you need from your fans this weekend to help you guys provide that little off-ice lift that gets through a rivalry?
Yeah, I think if our fans pack it this weekend, bring in a lot of energy and a lot of noise, it'll really make it the full experience for us on the ice and for them in the stands. So I think if we get a large number and it's loud and they're cheering at the right times and they're kind of bringing all the energy for us to draw off of, I think it'll really help us this weekend.
All right, Arizona State fans, you heard it this side of the rivalry. Says, come on out, be bold, be maroon and gold, right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
CLAYTON LACKEY, thanks for joining me. Good luck this weekend and good luck the rest of the year.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, man.
Yep.
Appreciate it. Well, folks, it's an ACHA D1 rivalry week here at Arizona State. You can see with a smile on the face, I know the big fella, Tim Hoffenkamp, is ready to go for this weekend. Tim, you had the first weekend of the season last weekend against UNLV. Tell me a little bit about last weekend and what you learned about your team.
Honestly, we got like 22 new rookies in, a great group of guys. We look a lot more solid this year. A couple breakdowns this weekend, but I mean, it comes a time with just a new team. You got to learn each other's like talents and everything. But I think overall against UNLV, we've had a great week. We went out 1-1, so it's always nice to get a win, especially on the first game, first home opener. But yeah, it was a good weekend to go.
All right, so you guys brought in like 120 plus players to try out this year. What were your thoughts when those kind of numbers showed up to compete for a spot on the ASU ACHA D1 team?
Well, actually, it was surprising. I got a text from Tait saying like, hey, we need you to come to conditioning camp and stuff. We got 120 kids. We need people to show them like what it's like to go at this level. And honestly, it's a great thing to get that many recruits because, you know, hockey's growing in the desert. It's always nice to see, especially you don't expect it. You don't see many rinks out here. So actually getting 120 kids to actually come out and want to play is actually an incredible thing.
You know, I saw a lot of pictures on social media of you this summer hanging around the desert. Were you here all summer long or for most of it?
I was here for some of it. I went back home to Chicago with my family and everything, but it's always nice to relax in the summer, even though it's a little hot sometimes, but it's nice to have a pool right by your side and just sit back and relax. So.
All right, so now things are back on the ice. I talked to Coach Green a little bit about what he was going to use you for, and he said he was going to put you out there in almost every situation. He liked you in the penalty kill because of your length and your hustle. He likes you on the power play because you're big and can get in front of the net. He likes you on a regular shift, so are you going to get any break time, or is he going to be running every shift?
You know, I got to use my legs while I'm young. Hopefully I get as much ice time as I can. It's always nice to get a break here and there, but hopefully Tate keeps relying on me, and he can rely on me to come back and make some big plays happen.
All right, we all know what's going on this weekend. It's U of A coming in. They haven't played yet. They've barely been on the ice, I've been told, because they don't have any down in Tucson. Mm-hmm. So they've been busting up here. You guys have been out. You've been preparing for them. How big is this weekend? How much do you know about the rivalry between ASU and U of A in a short period of time that you've been here?
Yeah, so I've only been here for a year and a half now. But I understand just from last year, the rivalry's huge, but it's what makes the game fun. You know, you always need those rivalries to get a little fire in your ass, get yourself going. And honestly, like, yeah, there's a lot of hatred on the ice. On and off the ice, you know, you don't really talk to each other, but once you battle on the ice, there's nothing like just a good rivalry weekend. So I'm stoked for it.
So ACHA D1 hockey has grown tremendously in the Desert Southwest. We're starting our 5th year. As I look at all the teams in Grand Canyon coming on board right now, it's the compete level has grown all the way across the board. Is that a good thing?
Absolutely. You always want challenge when you play hockey. You don't want to just walk on every team because that's just not going to get you better. You play the better talent, you're going to be a better team. And if you come up on top, beating like a top 10, top 15 team, the victory feels so much more sweet.
All right, so you're ready for U of A coming in. They came in as the highest ranked team because they won the conference last year, I guess. But and I don't like the ranking system, but unfortunately that's the way that you get into the national tournament, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at you guys right now, and I'm going like, I don't think you guys just want to get to the national tournament. I think you want to get there and do some damage. So that probably means that you want to find yourself in a pretty good seed, so it's a comfortable position to start the tournament. What have you guys talked about in the locker room to this point?
Honestly, it's just work hard. Effort is everything. You don't gotta be the most skilled guy to make a good team. You gotta give the most effort to be a great team. And honestly, with this group of guys, I think we could do some damage if we end up getting to the national tournament, which we absolutely should. We're fast, we're young, we're talented. So we got it all. We had a couple guys that can really bring the puck to the net and score. We have a couple guys like myself that like to get in the corners, grind, work hard. And I think all around we worked well as the team, and we will grind for that national championship.
All right, a couple more for you before I let you go. What I noticed watching last week's games were, and I commented to coach afterwards, I said, this is the most disciplined, and by disciplined I mean position play as well, that I've seen an ASU team in a number of years. It seemed like you guys were in the right place all the time. You weren't running around. You weren't taking bad penalties. Was that something that was discussed early on in the year about this is what we want to do and not do?
Yeah, Tait really got on us for stops and starts, especially no little figure skate circles. Make sure you stop and start and actually play the body, work hard. Make sure you're not running around with your head cut off. You're just gonna gash yourself. So it's better to stay calm, play just your position, and worry about your own position, and it'll work well as a team if everyone plays that role.
All right, I heard on Tuesday you had a special guest come in and talk to you guys a little bit about this rivalry, and he told me before he came in, I'm talking about Coach Craig Powers with the NCAA team, he told me that he was going to in and give you guys a little history lesson. Tell me what that speech was like.
Actually, he's a great motivator. Thank you for Powers for actually coming out and talking to the boys. It's a real help for the people that don't know about the rivalry and everything. He's been through it all with U of A. He basically just explained to us what it means to wear a pitchfork, Sparky, what it means to be at ASU, and you should have pride for playing here, which I actually agree.
All right, Tim Hoffenkamp, we'll look forward to seeing you this weekend in the big rivalry game against U of A. Good luck this weekend. Good luck the rest of the way. We're going to be seeing a lot of you, I got a feeling.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you for having me.